The innocence of a child. The hope of an immigrant. 9-year-old Yafet Solomon and 40-year-old Fitsum Kebede lost their lives during a fire inside 708 Kennedy Street Northwest. The former pharmacy was transformed into an unlicensed boarding house. Pictures WUSA 9 obtained through the Freedom of Information Act reveal 15 crowded rooms separated by plywood, metal doors, iron gates, jerry-rigged wiring, and extension cords snaked from room to room. No working smoke detectors to be found. An auditor says when the fire broke out August 2019, the young boy and man had nowhere to run. 9-year-old Yafet.
He had thermal burns in his upper airway.
And 40-year-old Fitsum.
He actually had to crawl to get into his rent space.
For the first time, lawyers representing the victims are speaking out about the wrongful death suit filed against the city and 10 district employees.
It's disgusting to even think about. If anyone had done maybe half their job or a quarter of their job, this would not have happened.
Attorney Peter Grenier represents the family of the rising fourth grader. Attorney Jerry Spitz, the estate of Kebede, who was a father himself.
It's as egregious and outrageous as you can get.
WUSA 9 has learned the city says it's not responsible for the tragedy. This, despite an auditor's findings. According to that report, a D.C. police officer noticed the unsafe conditions inside the home back in March, 5 months before the fire. The officer sent 22 emails to D.C. Fire and the Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs. In May, DCRA finally sent Steve Allen, an investigator, to the house. But Allen told us he visited 3 times and couldn't get in. His supervisor eventually closed the case. We spoke to investigator Allen back in November 2020. For people who say that you should have done more, how do you respond?
Well, what did it mean more?
More than leaving your card and walking away.
Okay, I did this 3 times. I'm not a house. I can't kick the door in.
Mr. Allen represented himself in the reporting that you did, that he was not properly trained in housing code violations. So I think the facts speak for itself. Certainly they should have sent somebody out there.
D.C. Attorney General Karl Racine filed a motion to dismiss the claims against the city and its employees, arguing the only person responsible is the landlord, James Walker. According to the court documents, the AG writes, the district enforces building and fire safety provisions for the benefit of the entire public, and it does not owe a duty to any specific individual, including Kebede and Solomon. Racine's legal response is tied to something called the Public Duty Doctrine. It was ratified by the D.C. Council to cover claims against the district for the actions of contractors and their employees. The AG spokesperson said they don't comment on litigation, but did stress our office has a long history of standing up for tenants.
If you were a proximate cause of the alleged injuries, or in this case, the death, then you're held equally responsible.
Attorney Grenier says the fact that the D.C. police officer raised the alarm before the fire, DCRA sent investigator Allen, and then closed the case proves the city was aware of the danger and had an obligation to keep people safe, yet failed to do so.
When you make it cheaper for them to retrain, bring in consultants, change policies, than it is to compensate or to pay victims of horrific incidents such as little Yafet suffered, that's when you get their attention.
The lawyers are seeking a total $300 million from D.C., and the landlord, James Walker, is now facing murder charges and heads to court later this month. Delia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
We know you're going to keep following that one, Delia. Thank you.